The hope for a title race over in the Bundesliga has gone as RB Leipzig lost to, of course, leaders, champions, and, of course, European supremes, Bayern, this past weekend. But will there be any hope left for anybody else? We'll take a little look next. That's right, folks, back on Team and Pretty Sure today we'll take a look at match day number 28 out in the Bundesliga, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe and get your back at all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, Bundesliga related. We're going to all here, boys. Under Wolfsburg, of course, yes. What could have been a fascinating title crunch clash left for the Bundesliga is now all but gone as Leipzig failed to deliver when they were taking on, of course, Bayern this past weekend, of course. But what about the chasing pack? Is there any hope for the likes of Wolfsburg and Frankfurt? Probably not. We'll take a look anyway. Until then, though, make sure you check out the links down below on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and again, give the video some love and smash the thumbs up, smash the subscribe as well. So let's get into the deep end then, shall we? Take a look at my picks, then we'll take a look at your picks, and of course, we'll see where we go from here. So kicking all off last weekend, it was Augsburg taking on, of course, Hoffenheim. It was a 2-1 win for Augsburg. Ruben Vargas and Andrea Hahn getting on the goal scorer sheet for Augsburg. Of course, Robert Skoff get a goal for Hoffenheim in a 2-1 win for Augsburg. 1-1 for me, not too shabby. In fact, pretty shabby as well. Someone else who's shabby is, of course, Borussia Dortmund with a 2-1 loss to Frankie. Actually went in favour of Dortmund on this one, but they got themselves handed to them on the plate. Matt Hummels with the 1-0 goal for Dortmund. Of course, Nico Schultz with an OG, and Andre Silva adding to his tally as well as Frankfurt delivered the 3 points. 2-1 for them, 2-1 for me. Going the other way, shame on me. Of course, Leverkusen also picked up a 2-1 win against Schalke. Lucas Aliero and, of course, Patrick Schick getting the goals. Of course, Leverkusen. Klaus Jan Huntelaar still banging in the goals. But, of course, Schalke, as, of course, Leverkusen came out on top with a 2-1 win. 2-0 for me, not too shabby. Fair play, fair play. Of course, Josip Bekala was the 1-0 goal scorer as Wolfsburg came out on top over Cologne. Of course, I actually went with a 3-1 win myself, so not too bad there. Big win for Wolfsburg as they keep on their Champions League dream. Meanwhile, of course, Mainz against Bielefeld ended up all square, 1-1 in the end. Daniel Brosinski on score, she goes for Mainz. Andres Volskam against the goal for, of course, Bielefeld in a 1-1 draw. Keeps Bielefeld in the mix to keep for survival, but not too good at the moment. Meanwhile, of course, the 1-0 for me, going in favour of Mainz. Meanwhile, Leipzig against Bayern ended up as a 1-0 win for Bayern. Leon Goretzka on the score sheet for Bayern, giving them the win. 1-0 for them, 3 points in the bag, and looks like it's going to be champions once again. Of course, Borussia Mönchengladbach bounce back ability. Of course, 2-1 win over Freiburg at long last. Marcus Thuram with a couple of goals, of course, for them. Roland Salafai get the goals as well for Freiburg, but of course, not good enough. Gladbach held on top for the 3 points. Of course, Stuttgart with a 1-0 win over Werder Bremen as well. On to Sunday's matches. Ludwig Augustinsson with big fat OG, giving, of course, Stuttgart the W. And of course, put Werder Bremen in a bit of trouble, but of course, put Stuttgart closer to Europe spots, of course. And the Battle of Berlin ended up as a 1-1 draw. Of course, Robert Andrich on score, of course, Union Berlin. Of course, Dodi Lukabagalo get the goals for, of course, Hertha in a 1-1 draw. I actually remember the 1-0 win myself. Not too shabby. In fact, pretty shabby as well. As you can see, I got myself 4 out of 9, which isn't too great. But what's that done to the table? We'll have a look at it. Here it is. Of course, Bayern, of course, leads 7 points now. Of course, Bayern, as, of course, they looked for another title in the bag. Meanwhile, Wolfsburg up to 3rd. Of course, Frankfurt up to 4th. Dortmund back up to 5th. Even though they lost. Of course, Mönchengladbach are in 9th, and win for them in the next matches. They could go as high as 7th, so we'll have to see about that. Schalke going down as at the moment, looks nailed on. Of course, Arminia Bielefeld also in the relegation mire, as well as you wouldn't rule out Cologne, you wouldn't rule out Mainz, and you wouldn't rule out Hertha Berlin as of right now. So, despite the fact that the title race looks to be nailed on, the relegation match is the relegation competition. Of course, the race for, of course, Champions League is still very, very much lively. So we'll have to see how that pans out as the season comes to a close. Let's kick it off over then and take a look at your picks. Here we go. 0-3 even straight face gang. 4-6 straight face club. And 7+ your top bins, boys. Here we go. Russell Frost did well. He actually did very, very well. Indeed, well done to you. Of course, JSP, you're great. You did good. Axwell also did good. Yana Bassa did bits. Well done. Of course, Matt Scott also did very, very well. Costas K, he's okay. Bria Lou did okay as well. Shane O'Donnell also did very, very well. Of course, Amaji Monday did good. Okay, did okay. And of course, Georgie Gasseth did shite. Of course, Vincent Hong did bits of poop as well. Meanwhile, Ojo52 did poop. Of course, Roberto Haas also did very, very well. Isami Adu did good. Tom Stainer, well done to you. Of course, Luka Kajanovic also did great. Joshua Trevor, not too bad. Of course, Game China did bits. Ojo52 again. Better than last time. Weird. As for Ultra Emirates, well done to you. Well done indeed. Of course, Hans Boss also did very, very well. Give you a free one there. Of course, Omar Escobil, top banana. Well done. Of course, Mark Spatelli also did good. Jake Seifert also did shy. Irish Stringer did good. And Davis FC, not too bad indeed. What about the leaderboard? Let's take a look at it for this week and this week alone. If your name's Yannick Zayafried and Vincent Ong, just take a little look somewhere else for right here right now. But of course, if your name's Omar Esquivel, Russell Frost and Yannick Buster, take a bloody bow. Of course, you're the kingpins for this week and this week alone. What's that done to the overall table? We'll have a look at it then, shall we? Here we go. Costas K, he's okay. Alex Weller, though, also in the hunt, and Luka Kajanovic not too far away either. So Costas K got himself just the 5 points this week. Alex Weller got himself 6, so he's closing in on him. Luka Kajanovic also gained on him as well. So good chance for the guys to make up the ground on, of course, Costas K. He's got 5-point cushion at the moment, but of course, it's still anybody's guess. And of course, a couple more weeks like that, and you just don't know where we're going to go. So of course, that's the situation in the leaderboard right here, right now. But of course, let's get into the next round of matches. Kicking on off this Friday, it'll be Bielefeld up against Freiburg. Let's take a look at this one then, shall we? How we go. Last 6 between two sides, 2 wins apiece, of course, and 2 draws. Last time around in Bielefeld was a 4-1 win for Freiburg. That was in the Zweite Bundesliga back in March 2016. Florian Niederlechner with a couple of goals there for, of course, Freiburg. Vincenzo Grifo and Mike France getting the goals, of course, Freiburg, with Christopher Note getting the goals for, of course, Bielefeld. Also, pretty sure that this season in Freiburg was a 2-0 win as well. Freiburg 3 games unbeaten against Bielefeld, got stretching all the way back to, of course, 2005. Heading into this, Bielefeld actually failed to score in the last 4 home matches. Of course, heading into this, also failed to win 9 last 10 matches as well. Heading into this, though, just 1 win in the past 5 games for Bielefeld. That was against Leverkusen on the road. Meanwhile, just 2 wins in the past 5 games for Freiburg have them maybe dreaming again. Of course, 3 games out of 3 out of the past 4 games have suffered in defeat, though, for Freiburg. Of course, the only positive was a win against Augsburg. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Of course, Arminia Bielefeld score 9-4 for the victory, 23-10 is draw, 65 is your Freiburg. Freiburg currently find themselves in 10th, and with them they can move up to 7th, whereas Bielefeld on 17th, and with them they can move up to 14th in the table. For me, going to go with a 1-0. No, going to go with a 0-0. Going to go with a 0-0 for, of course, point split right down the middle. I think Bielefeld will be the happier with, of course, the point in the bag. Next, of course, Werder Bremen taking, of course, RB Leipzig over in Bremen. Of course, last 6 sides, 1 win for Bremen, 4 for Leipzig, and 1 draw. Last time around in Werder Bremen was a 3-0 win for Leipzig. Back in, of course, September 2019. Goal scorers on the day, Willi Orban, Marcel Sabitzer, of course, Marcelo Zarici getting the goals for, of course, Leipzig. Konrad Lehmer get himself sent off on the match, of course. And, of course, the picture that this season in Leipzig was a 2-0 win for Leipzig back in December. Leipzig, though, keep a clean sheet in 6 of the last 8 matches on the road, also winning their last 4 on the road as well. Werder Bremen, though, losing the last 3. Heading into this, 3 defeats on the spin for Bremen, losing the likes of Bayern, Wolfsburg, and, of course, Stuttgart. As for Leipzig, just 1 win the past 4 games, that 1 was against Bielefeld, and a 1-0 win for them. As for the bookies odds, they'll go with Leipzig, just despite the old recent run of form. 6-1 for Werder Bremen, 2-1 on is your Leipzig, of course, 3-1 is your draw. Of course, Werder Bremen are in 13th, but with them they can move up to 11th, whereas Leipzig are in 2nd, and with them they can close in on 1st. I think they'll get the win with a 2-0 win over Bremen to get the 3 points and, of course, move the chains. Next up, of course, Hertha Berlin against my boys, Borussia Mönchengladbach. Last 6 between two sides, 2 wins apiece and 2 draws. Last time around in Berlin was a 0-0 draw back in, of course, December 2019. Also, picture that this season also was a 1-1 draw. Heading into this, though, Mönchengladbach back-to-back wins for them for the first time in a long time, beating the likes of Schalke and Freiburg in quick succession, scoring 5 goals in those 2 games as well. Meanwhile, Berlin coming to this 3 unbeaten. Just 1 defeat past 4 games to them. That 1 defeat was against Borussia Dortmund on the road. Take a look at the bookies odds on this one. What do we have on this? Hertha Berlin 11-5 for the victory, 25 is your draw, 65 on is your Borussia Mönchengladbach. Of course, Gladbach are in 9th, and with them they can move up to 7th, whereas Hertha Berlin are 14th, and with them they can close in on 13th. Gonna go with my boys on this one. A 3-1 win at home. Take the 3 points. Next up, we have Frankfurt up against Wolfsburg. Big one, this one. Of course, as Champions League spots are on the line. It is 3rd against 4th. Last 6, 1 win for Frankie, 4 for Wolfsburg, and 1 draw. Last time around in Frankie was a 2-0 win for Wolfsburg. Back in, of course, November 2019. Goal scorers on the day, Wout Weghorst and Joe Victor on score with Marcel Tisserand get himself sent off for Wolfsburg. Also, picture that this season in Wolfsburg was a 2-1 win for Wolfsburg as well. Wolfsburg keeping clean sheet in the 9 last 11 matches in the Bundesliga. Frankfurt are, though, undefeated in the last 15 at home. Wolfsburg, though, winning 5 of the last 6 matches on the road as well. Coming into this, back-to-back wins for Frankfurt, beating the likes of course, Union Berlin and, of course, Dortmund. Meanwhile, 3 wins on the spin with Wolfsburg, beating the likes of Schalke, Werder Bremen, and, of course, Fortuna Cologne. Heading into this one, what do we have on this one then? The bookies odds. Wolfsburg coming at you 21-10 for the victory, 65 is your Frankfurt, 11-12-5 is your draw. Of course, a win for Frankie in 4th. They could close it in on Wolfsburg, who are 3rd, and if the Wolfsburg in 3rd, they could go 2nd, depending on goal swing. I've gone with a 2-2 draw on this one, point split right out of the middle. I think Wolfsburg will be the happier. Next up, of course, next up we have Bayern up against, of course, Union Berlin. Last 4 between the two sides, 3 for Bayern, nothing for Union Berlin, and 1 draw. Last round in Bayern was a 2-1 win for Bayern. Back in, of course, October 2019. Goal scorers on the day, Benjamin Pavard and Robert Lewandowski, of course, on the score sheet. Of course, Sebastian Potter getting a goal for, of course, Union Berlin. Of course, Bayern have actually scored at least 4 goals in the last 3 home matches. Heading into this, also undefeated in 35 of the last 38 matches as well. Coming into this, though, Bayern 5 wins on the spin for them. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat in the past 5 games for Union Berlin. That was against Frankfurt, 5-2 loss. A couple of games back. Meanwhile, the bookies odds on this one, both Bayern 3-1 on for the victory, 7-1 is your long shots. That's Union Berlin. Of course, 4-1 is the draw. Union Berlin are actually in 7th at the moment. A win for them, they could close in on 6th. Of course, Bayern are first, and they'll be first no matter what. They'll get the win as well with a 3-0 win, even though Lewandowski is nowhere to be seen. Next up, we have Stuttgart up against Borussia Dortmund. Of course, this game will take place on Saturday, the 10th of April. Of course, played each other the last 6, 2 for Stuttgart, 4 for Dortmund. Of course, no draws last time around. In Stuttgart was a 4-0 win for Dortmund back in, of course, October 2018. Goal scorers on the day, Jadon Sancho with a goal. Of course, Marco Reus, Paco Alcazar, and of course, Maximilian Philipp on the score sheet, of course, giving Dortmund the 3 points. Also played each other this season, though, in Dortmund. It was a 5-1 win for Stuttgart, goodness gracious me. Stuttgart, though, winning the last 3 home matches in the Bundesliga. Also, Dortmund can see at least 2 goals in 5 of the last 6 away matches in the Bundesliga. They come into this, though, just 1 defeat the past 5. That's for Stuttgart. The 1 defeat was against Bayern. Meanwhile, just 1 win, though, in the past 5 games for Dortmund. That was against Hertha Berlin, a 2-0 win at home. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Of course, Stuttgart coming to 60-5 at the victory, 5-4 on issue. Dortmund, of course, 11-4 is the draw. Dortmund are actually in 5th at the moment, but a win for them, they could close it in on 4th, whereas Stuttgart are in 8th, and a win for them, they could move up to 7th. Of course, close it in on 6th. Going to go with a 2-1 win for Dortmund, though, against the run of play. 2-1 win for them, 3 points in the bag. Next up, we have, of course, Schalke up against Augsburg. Played each other the last 6, 2 wins for Schalke, 1 for Augsburg, and 3 draws last time around. In Schalke was a 3-0 win for Augsburg back in May 2020. Of course, Edouard Leuven, Noah Joel Serien Baze, and of course, Sergio Cordova getting the goals for, of course, Augsburg. Heading into this, they also played each other this season in Augsburg. It was a 2-2 draw back in, of course, December 2020. Of course, Schalke, they're failing to score in 9 last 11 matches at home, and they've also failed to win the last 12 matches in the Bundesliga. That's Schalke. 3 defeats on the spin for Schalke. Of course, losing to Wolfsburg, losing to Gladbach, and of course, losing to Leverkusen. Of course, conceding 10 goals in those last 3 games. As for Augsburg, winning 3 and losing 2 of the past 5 games at very inconsistent form. Look at the bookies odds on this one. We have Schalke 23-10 for the victory, 23-10 is your draw. 6-5 is your Augsburg. Augsburg coming into this, of course, in 11th, but a win for them, they could close it in on 10th. Schalke are 18th, and they'll be to 18th no matter what. Going to go with a 1-0 win for Augsburg, but if anything, I think this could be a game that Schalke could win this one, but I'm sticking with Augsburg just because Schalke have been that abysmal. Next up, of course, I have Cologne taking on Mainz. Played each other the last 6, 2 wins apiece and 2 draws, of course. Last time around in Cologne was a 2-2 draw, of course, back in May 2020. Goal scorers on the day with Mark Ute, of course, Florian Kainz on the score sheet, of course, for Cologne. Taiwo Owoni, of course, Pea Kunde Malong getting the goals for, of course, Mainz in a 2-2 draw back in, of course, May. Also played each other this season, of course, in Mainz. It was a 1-0 win for Cologne. Cologne, though, failing to win 17 of the last 18 matches at home, and they're coming to this without a win at least 6. Of course, picking up 2 draws, though, in the past 5. As for Mainz, unbeaten in the last 4, picking up 2 wins and 2 draws to boot, have them believing it again. Of course, look at the bookies odds on this one. Cologne coming at you 90-10 for the victory, 9-4 is your draw, 7-5 is your Mainz. Mainz are actually in, where the heck are they? They're actually in 15th, but a win for them, they can move up to 14th. Cologne are actually in 16th, but a win for them, they can move up above, of course, Mainz, up to as high as 14th in the table. Going to go with a 2-1 for Cologne on this one. Believe it or not, it could go the other way. Next, of course, I have Hoffenheim up against Leverkusen on Monday, the 12th of April. Played each other the last 6, 3 for Hoffenheim, 2 for Leverkusen, and 1 draw. Last time around in Hoffenheim was a 2-1 win for Hoffenheim back in, of course, February 2020. Andrei Kadamic on score sheet, of course, Robert Skoff as well. Musa Diaby getting the goal for, of course, Leverkusen. Of course, Kadim Dembele, Dembrabai get himself sent off, of course, for Leverkusen back in the day. Also played each other this season, 4-1 win for Leverkusen in Leverkusen. Of course, that was back in, of course, December. Hoffenheim have actually lost the last 3 matches in the Bundesliga, and they come into this just 1 win in the past 6 games. That 1 win was against Wolfsburg in Hoffenheim. Meanwhile, Leverkusen just 2 wins in the past 6 games, beating the likes of Gladbach, a couple of games back, and also beating Schalke just the other day. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Hoffenheim coming at you at 15-8 for the victory. Of course, 5-2 is your draw. 13-10 is your Leverkusen. Of course, Hoffenheim are 12th, and a win for them, they can move up to 11th, whereas Leverkusen are actually in 6th, and with them, they can move up to 5th. Oh yes, going to go with a 1-1 draw, point split right down the middle. And if I'm right, which by the way I hope so, this is what the table will look like at the end of it. Of course, Bayern will have a 7-point clearance over, of course, RB Leipzig. Then it'll be Wolfsburg, who will be 5 points adrift. Then it'll be Frankfurt in 4th, with Dortmund still believing in, of course, a late push for Champions League football. Leverkusen are in 6th, of course. Gladbach into 7th as of the foot. Schalke, Bielefeld going down, with Mainz not too far away either. You realistically got to think about Dortmund. If they don't get Champions League, you could say goodbye to Haaland, you could say goodbye to Sancho, and you probably say goodbye to some other of their high-profile players, maybe even Jude Bellingham, maybe. So there'll be a whole dramatic changes if Dortmund fail to get, of course, Champions League football. We'll have a look at that and see how that develops, of course. Be sure to give the video so long, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe, and also get your picks in nice and early down below. Thanks again for watching. Also check out the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon for more support channel in another way. That's the best place to do it. But until then though, smash the thumbs up, smash subscribe, and I'll see you all next time for some more Bundesliga action.